Coinsub is a developer of a crypto payment platform designed to streamline financial transactions. The company's platform enables secure, one-time, and recurring payments through a variety of cryptocurrencies, simplifying product management and subscription handling while providing transparency, real-time settlement, and a user-friendly experience for merchants and customers alike, enabling businesses to easily manage payments and grow their customer base in the digital economy. I got a chance recently to talk to the founder and CEO, Jasper. In your words, explain what Coinsub does.
Sure, absolutely. So we're a middleware infrastructure that unifies this kind of upcoming technology of blockchain, crypto, stablecoins with traditional payment methods, and then deploys them in a way that's easily accessible to businesses, fintechs, banks, and users.
How is this different than some of the other digital payment apps out there, like a Venmo or PayPal or a crypto wallet?
Yeah, absolutely. So, blockchain by nature is what I would say is probably the first global payment method that exists out there where every single person on earth can actually access it, as compared to who has a PayPal, which countries is it available in, which areas have card acceptance or not. And then Coinsub very specifically differs from other payment protocols in the sense that we build this infrastructure, and rather than targeting, say, the end merchant themselves, we actually target other payment service providers and fintechs to enable them to add this payment method underneath their own brand.
Okay. So explain, I'm a small business owner. I have a flower shop. How do I get started with your platform?
Yeah. Depending on whether or not you've built out your own website or you use a WordPress or something like that, we have either plugins or easy copy paste code so that you can add this straight to your checkout. Underneath that pay with card or pay with PayPal or pay with Google Pay, you now have a pay with crypto. And then the rest of it, we take it from there. The customer does the whole checkout. And then from the business perspective, you can either choose to receive it in crypto or directly to your bank account as US dollars.
Now, you mentioned global. So there's much of the world is unbanked and can't get a credit card or have a checking account, things like this. Is this a solution for them?
I would say so. In emerging markets, they all use varying different payment methods, and that's fine on a very local scale. But the demand and kind of capability for commerce on a global scale, who can create content, freelancers, things like that, has far outgrown the ability for our own payment methods to keep up, right? Our employees, for example, we have plenty of employees in Turkey, and our kind of protocol is the way that we pay them because there's not another one that's stable, usable by all of them.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a way companies can pay their employees globally. So I hadn't even thought about that. What about privacy, transparency of all these transactions?
So from an auditability perspective, every transaction is logged, and it is, for the most part, kind of traceable, right? And so if privacy becomes a concern, there are ways with which to obfuscate transactions. You kind of decouple them from the individuals or the businesses without necessarily impacting kind of the core value or safety.
Okay. And then what tokens are people able to pay with what crypto?
Yeah, so we started with just stablecoins, right? Because your traditional business is used to receiving things where they don't have to think about the value of it.
The volatility.
Yeah, the volatility of it, right? And I think that's a big kind of step forward in adoption. But coming up in this quarter, we'll actually enable people to pay with pretty much every single crypto out there. And we'll do the spot conversion into a stablecoin or into local currency for them. So someone could pay with their PayPay coin,
Okay. And does it work with some of the current, like a Square or a Stripe or some of the small businesses that they take those payment methods? Can you work with those?
So, we started really with online just because the reality of the processing is that it still takes 15, 30 seconds, 45 seconds at its quickest.
Okay.
Which in reality, if you're standing there at a checkout line in your grocery store, 45 seconds is a long time to be waiting for the thing to go through.
Right.
And so there's certain usability, practical usability things that we're working on to actually enable it to function in, normal day-to-day situations without interrupting people's flow.
Okay. And Jasper, just talk about the company and where do you see things going, and where do you just see digital payments in general going globally over the next, say, 3 to 5 years?
Yeah. So to me, I think very much so about blockchain as the technology and the data infrastructure. Again, if you think about how things have, the difference between, say, like a paper filing cabinet and storing things on your computer or digitally, this is the transition between storing things in, localized ledgers for a bank or finance and storing things in basically a universally accessible ledger. And so there's just a level of efficiency increase that isn't a disruption, but just almost a natural evolution of technology, processing power, and kind of how digital assets will be transformed, right? And so to me, it's far more of an inevitability than anything else. It just matters kind of what form it takes.
Especially as the world gets more connected, more interactive, this could, be a solution for just payments to be going through much more efficiently and quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think about like certain emerging markets, like, can you imagine trying to do like a 5-cent credit card transaction? That's just not going to work. Or a 5-cent ACH. But the reality of like, exchange of value or kind of, currency value in different countries, a 5, 10, 25-cent transaction should be reasonable, right? It unlocks different mechanisms of monetization. Like, I know that people are trying all the time to figure out like, how do we monetize like attention economy, right? Or like, I know that CNN had just started their subscriptions, which like to certain varying degrees of success. But imagine that you could have a balance and then you only pay for the articles you want to pay for, and it's like 2 pennies per article, right? Just opens up different ways of efficient monetization.
Of monetizing things. Yeah. Well, very interesting where we're going. It's kind of fun to be on the front lines and watch it all develop. So Jasper, thank you so much for coming in and explaining Coinsub.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.